What's up, my melanated family? Peace to the gods and goddesses all across the globe, where all the melanated people at. Today's topic is, we're going to train up a child. Hey, teach the young god, teach the young goddess. Let's get into it. Go get your Bibles out. We already know. Go to Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. And it states, Proverbs, I'm way over here. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. And we already know what it states. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Train that young god, train that young goddess in the way that they should go. You do it. Not society, not the school system, not what the church say. You train up a child in the way that he or she should go, in the ways of the Creator, in the ways of our ancestors taught us that we supposed to train up a child. So we're gonna go to Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6, and we're gonna go to 7 as well. And it states, "And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shall talk of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, when thou risest up." You got to keep giving that wisdom and knowledge to the children each and every day. Whenever they go to sleep, until we sit at the table, unless you get called, you got a problem, what's going on? Tell pops, tell moms what's popping. Tell what's going on. Give us some good news. Keep giving. You got to keep this as diligently, each and every day, each and every hour. So we're going to now we're going to switch over to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4, and it states, "And ye fathers, be careful," because this is what a lot of times parents got to watch this right here. "And ye father, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in nurture and in animation of the Lord." See there? I'm gonna read it again. "And ye father, provoke not your children to wrath." Just want to talk to the adults, man. Even my age group, they have kids that's in their early 20s or a little older, man. Don't provoke your children to wrath. Don't try to say things out of line, say things out of pocket. You got to be wise enough not to be doing that. Trying to fight your kids and trying to be jealous and say little things, because that's provoking. The Most High and our ancestors wouldn't want us to be doing that. You're not supposed to be following the ways of another people, that's of another culture that's not our own. We're not supposed to be doing it. You're supposed to train. You're supposed to teach that young God, teach that young goddess in the way that we supposed to be living our lives accordingly. Loving family. Telling what's going on. Let's sit down at the table. What's going on. Giving some wisdom each and every day. Break down the science to them. Giving some knowledge. And everybody's learning. So we're going to go back to the book of Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. Book of Proverbs chapter 13, verse 24. And it states, "He that spared his rod hated his son, but he that loved him chastised him bedtimes." Meaning this, why would I, if I know my son is doing what's wrong, and he know what's wrong, he know not to do it, he know not to steal, he know not to be disrespectful, and then you got to put that old belt on him. But then you got to teach them, you don't need to be doing that. You don't teach that young goddess how she ain't supposed to be doing certain things that's not according, that's not righteous. Then it's time to get that belt. that means you love them, because a lot of times society already want to put us in. You already know, we already know as a people how society is when it comes to the melanated people. I ain't got look, we see it every day. Y'all already know. So let's go to Matthew chapter 19 verses 13 through 15. Matthew chapter 19 verses 13 through 15. And they were brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked them. And Christ, Yahushua, said, Suffer the little ones, and forbid them not to come unto me, for such is the kingdom of heaven. And he had his hands on them and departed thence. See, a lot of times, just cause somebody little youngster want to come and want to get some wisdom and knowledge, teach that young God. Like I say, teach that young God is they ain't got to be, related to you by blood, but that's your son or that's your daughter. Teach them and train them. You don't. A lot of time we figure that, oh, that's not my child, that's not responsibility. Well, that's your community. We talking about, well, why is that we gonna have a lot of fathers in the house? We might not have any mothers that's not teaching. Well, you got to step up. You got to step up as an adult, male or female. Got to teach that youngster. Cause a lot of times the streets gonna teach them how to do some other things that's not right, and society itself is gonna teach them how to be less than. They're not gonna teach them how they supposed to act accordingly, how they supposed to be living their life, how do we supposed to do in our everyday life as a melanated goddess, according to what the Most High told us that we need to be doing, and to our ancestors tell us. And then let's go to 2 Tim 3, chapter 3, verse 14 through 15. 2 Tim chapter 3, verses 14 through 15. And it states that, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and has been assured of knowledge, of whom thou hast learned them, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are available to meet the wise unto salvation through faith, which is Christ, which is knowing yourself as God, the Christ consciousness, knowing that, hey man, look, elevate that spiritual man. Elevate that ancient teachings that, like I said, elevate them teachings, give them that wisdom and knowledge. Hey man, I'm telling you, once you start getting into this, once you train up a child, diligently telling them that, hey son, it's gonna be alright, don't matter what things go through in life. Or you tell that young goddess, don't matter what any individual say about you, you're a beautiful goddess, you're a beautiful melanated goddess. You a beautiful you a righteous son. You a good looking son. I don't care what society tells you. You gotta speak positive things in their life, and you teach them the negative things, what they don't need to be doing, say to which it definitively conclude that what's right and what's wrong. So now we're gonna go to the book of let's see, we already read Deuteronomy chapter 6 and 7. So now we're going to go to the book of Proverbs chapter 23 to verses 13 through 14. Proverbs chapter 23 verses 13 through 14. And it says, withhold not correction from the child. See there? For if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell. My son, If thine heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice, even mine. You see there? Don't just beat them like trying to like how they did us on the plantation. Like, man, a lot of times you have kids that they are not terrible. You ain't got to, just spank the child like they do if the child will keep doing the same thing over and over again. But a lot of times you have certain children that, hey man, look, you guys just sit down and talk to them. You have to holler and scream. Just talk to them and show them diligently what their mistakes is, and you got to show them what their positive. Keep doing what's there, but we need to work on this. Show them their strengths and weaknesses as well. We got to show, because like I said, that they really want to put us locked up behind the bars. They want to put us on this medicine, all that riddling, and do a lot of other stuff that they want to accuse us every day. So we gotta teach the child. You got to be doing a lot of times. Don't be hearers of the word, be doers of the words also. So you got to be an example. Because a lot of times you can be talking, but you ain't lining up to what is being said. You can't be doing one thing and then you doing this here and it's not adding up. A positive and a negative can't mix. Oil and water can't mix, goddess. You feel me? So let's go to Proverbs chapter 19, verse 18. Chasten thy son while there is hope, and let not thy soul spare his for crying. Because later on, that young guard is gonna see how with society, as they start getting older, they gonna see what society is trying to do, and what the system is now trying to tell them. It's trying to set them up for failure. You got to show, like I said, show them. You got to show and train up a child, not hollering and screaming. Talk to him, explain it to him. Man, let's go to Colossians chapter 3, verse 21. Colossians chapter 3, verse 21, and it states, fathers, provoke your natural children to anger, lest thou be discouraged. See, that was a precept. That was a precept right there. Like, man, don't provoke your children to wrath, because then it's gonna bring division. See, the enemy want to bring division in the melanated family, and they've been doing it for so long that a lot of times that's a generational curse that our people don't really realize what's going on. So we got to acknowledge that and not let society tell us how we supposed to run our house. We go accordingly what our ancient ancestors said, what the Most High told them, explain to us what we need to be doing. It's really simple science, but don't let what others say, another people say about you. You gotta stand up for righteousness. You train your child up. Not what the school system says. Show them not what the church saying. Not what religious saying, but what our ancestors told us what we need to be doing as melanated people, so we can keep a righteous seed in good ground. So because when the seed grows, you have a good tree. But when you not teaching, then it becomes a seed. Then comes a wicked seed. You know what I'm saying? Then he's gonna start following the ways of the heathen, following what society telling you. That's what that wicked seed when you not teaching. You know what I'm saying? So you got to train that young goddess. So you're gonna go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 5. Hebrews chapter 12, verses 5 through 6. And it states, and ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as to children. My son, despise not that the chastening of the Most High, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. From whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth, and scourge every son whom he received. If he endured chastising, the Most High dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is whom the Father chastiseth not? But if he be without chastisement, wherefore all the partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence, and shall not much rather be in subjection to the Father of spirits and live. For they verily for a few days chastising us after their own pleasure, but he for a profit, for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness. Now no chastising for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yielded the peaceable fruit of the righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Therefore lift up the hands which hang down, and feeble knees, and make straight paths for your feet, lest thou which is lame be turned out of every way, but let it rather be healed. Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. Look it diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of God, lest any root of bitterness springeth up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. See there? That when the Most High chastises, he loves. Don't want to, like when you like, don't, the Most High really doesn't want us to be ignorant. Don't want us to be, go out the wheel, go out the so-called umbrella, get out the gates. Because when you go out there, when you trying to do what everybody else do, then you gonna get that bell whooping, that spiritual bell whooping, and and I'm telling you, you do not want to get. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Look, when you teach your son or your daughter the righteousness and to keep that balanced life, and don't provoke your child, you just teaching them. Hey man, the Most High loves that. Teach the love the Most High, and look, I'm telling y'all, it's real simple. But when a father or mother don't teach their child, that means you really don't love them. Then material things is not gonna help either. Money doesn't solve all problems. Like getting Jordans, going to these high-ranking places to buy all these materialistic things, it doesn't help. It's only for a moment, baby. You got to show. Sometimes, a lot of time, we say we love somebody, but we don't really show it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, don't be. A lot of times we talk too much, but we don't show the Most High what we working with. We're not showing the science. We're not working that science. You know what I mean? So we can go to Psalms chapter 127, verse 3. Psalms 127 and verse 3. And it states, lo, children are a heritage of the Most High, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. See there? It's, man, woo. And that's powerful right there. Let's see. Isaiah 54, verse 13. And all thy children shall be taught of the Most High, and great shall be the peace of thy children. You gotta teach them. See there? We are the melanated people are the children of the divine creator, the subconscious, the supreme God. We got to teach the child in the way that you got to teach in the ways of the Creator, in the ways of the Most High, that our ancestors was telling us how we supposed to be doing it. So now let's go to Proverbs chapter 13 verses 22. Then we go to Titus chapter 2 verses 4 to 5. And it states, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. A good man, a wise man, leaveth wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and he also leave an inheritance. You got a lot. If you got the wisdom and knowledge, and everything else is gonna come with it, baby. But see, the enemy doesn't want us to teach our children. Teach the young gods. Teach the young goddesses. Hey, man. Let's go to Titus. Y'all already know, go to Titus. Titus chapter 2 verses 4 to 5. And it states that they that teach... Look, remember that start. I'm gonna read it again. They may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blameless. And look where it said the young man. Likewise exhort to be sober-minded, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, and doctrines showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity. See there? You got to show love. And my young brothers, my brothers, the gods. Hey, and God says, hey, you gotta love each other, man. This is not trying to have power over another. No, we supposed to have a family. Everybody know their position. We supposed to learn from each other. Hey, that's how we build. We learn from each other. We don't holler and scream and say where society says who got the better paycheck, who that work. Hey, man, look, now we operate in a different manner. We operate in a different manner. So we're gonna come out. Y'all already know my book with the wise. Y'all already know we're coming out this book right here, the Tahotep. You know what I'm saying? One of the ancestors right here, giving some more wisdom and knowledge. Let's see. Useful is hearing to a son who hears. If hearing enters the hearer, then the hearer becomes a listener. Hearing well is speaking well. Useful is hearing to one who hears. Hearing is better than everything else. It creates goodwill. How good it is for a son to understand his father's words, that the son will reach old age, and through those words. You see, that's living that inheritance. You leaving some wisdom and knowledge. You also leaving some other things as well. Let's see. Okay, there's another one. If an example is set by him or her who leads, he or she will be benefit forever. His wisdom lasting for all time. The wise person feeds the spirit with endures, so that it is happy with that person on earth. The wise is known by his good actions. The heart of the wise matches his or her tongue, and his or her lips are straight when he or she speaks. The wise have eyes that are made to see, and ears that are made to hear, that will profit the offspring. The wise person who acts with truth is free of falsehood and disorder. Let's see. What's another one? We're gonna get some more wisdom. We just getting some wisdom right here, because this what needs to be fed into our children, and also the brothers and sisters that's of age as well. He who hears is beloved of God. He whom God hates does not hear. Ooh, the heart makes of its owner a hearer or a non-hearer. Man's heart is his life, prosperity, and health. The hearer is one who hears what is said. He who loves to hear is one who acts on what is said. How good is it for a son to listen to his father? How happy is he to whom it is said, your son is a master of hearing. The hearer on whom this is said is well endowed indeed, is honored by his father. That hearer's remembrance is in the mouth of the living, those that are on earth and those who will be. If a man's son accept his father's words, then no plan of his will go wrong. So teach your son to be a hearer, one who will be valued by the officials, one who will be guide his speech by what he has been told, one who is regarded as a hero. This son will excel in his deeds and will stand out, while failure will follow those who do not hear. The wise wakes up early to his lasting gain, while the fool is hard pressed. The fool who does not hear, he can do nothing at all. He looks at ignorance and sees knowledge. He looks at harmfulness and sees usefulness. He does everything that one detests and is blamed for it every day. He lives on the things by which one dies. His food is evil speech. His sword is known to the official who say, there go a living death every day. One who ignores the things that he does because of his many daily troubles. See there? It's real simple, God. It's real simple, goddess. A son who hears a follower of God, when he is old and has reached the period where he is venerated, then he will speak likewise to his own children, renewing them the teaching of his father. Every man teaches as he acts. You got to line up with what you teaching. You got to line up what you preaching out here. He will speak to the children so that they will speak to their children. That's their inheritance. He will set an example and not give offense. So if justice stands firm, your children will live. As to the first child who gets into trouble, when people see it, they will say about the child, that is just like him. And they will also say, when they even hear a rumor about the child, that's just like him too. See there? To see everyone is to satisfy the many. Any riches that you have are useless without the many. Don't say something and then take it back. Don't put one thing in place of another. Be aware of releasing the restraints in you. Lest the wise man say, listen, if you want to endure in the mouth of the hearers, speak after you have mastered the craft. If you speak to good purpose, all your affairs will be in place. Conceal your heart, control your mouth, then you will be known among the officials. Be quiet, exact before your leader. Act so that one will say to him, he is the son of that one. See there? Be deliberate when you speak so as to say things that count. Then the officials who listen will say, how good is the thing that comes from his mouth. Act so that your leader will say of you, how good is he whom his father has taught. When he came forth from his body, he told him all that was in his mind. He does even more than he was told. We're gonna keep going. We almost finished. The good son is the gift of God, who exceeds what is told him by his leader. He will do right when his heart is straight. As you succeed me sound in body, a king content with all that was done, may you obtain many years of life. See there? Wisdom and knowledge. You got to teach your son. Teach him in the way it should go. Because when you go out in society, they gonna see you gonna be living out. I see what my grandfather, my grandmother, and my mom's done be saying. When I was a kid, I used to hear them. They would say that your name, that everybody would know you by your name, by your last name, especially. Woo! So man, that says down down there, that old boy down there. You know, that's how the old folk talking to come. Down there. That says down there, that boy down there. Oh no, don't fool them people, man. Them people crazy, man. But then you got the other ones. Oh man, them some good people right there, man. They know what they talking about. They showing the way. They doing what they supposed to be doing. Now we coming. Which is another book I have right here. It said it's the knowledge of self, a collection of wisdom on the science of everything in life. And it has Save the Babies. And it states here are 50 things that one can do to assist in the growth and development of the youth in one's community. The first, number 1, make time for them. 2, listen to them. 3, if you are bilingual, teach them a second language. 4, teach them a trade such as carpentry, electrical work, cutting hair, or plumbing. 5, teach them how to cook, sew, or about hygiene. 6, teach them how to write. 7, teach them how to research. 8, teach them the difference between fact and opinion. 9, we just gonna do 10 because there's a bunch of. We're gonna get some more. We'll just do 9. Encourage them to stay aware of the news at home and abroad. You gotta teach your child. You gotta teach. Give them some wisdom. Give them some life lessons out here in the way it should go. This one piece to the family. If y'all want to hang out with your brother, want to get some more wisdom and knowledge and overstanding, just hit me up at melanated_God_king. That's my Instagram. If y'all just want to hang out with your boy, man, we can get into some more knowledge as well. You just want to talk about life in the event. Just want to hang out, man. It's cool with me. Hey, peace and love to the family. Y'all have a blessed rest of y'all day, man. Keep the Keep it melanated, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? You gotta teach them that they are God. Teach them they are goddess. Love that. Tell them they got that beautiful melanated skin like their ancestors. Coming from the cosmos. You feel me? From Nebula and Nebaru. Peace and love.